Last class we have studied the DC characteristic of operational amplifier. In that we have studied differential gain, common mode gain, and what are the parameters? CMRR. We have represented the output voltage in terms of CMRR. Then input bias current in the DC characteristic, we studied that. Then we found that RF value, what should be the value of the RF if we are connecting that into the non-inverting input. Okay, so the next characteristic which is coming under the DC characteristic is input offset current. Okay, this is one more parameter in the DC characteristic. Guys, better you write down. The second one is input offset current. Guys, can anybody answer this question? What is called as input bias current? The average of the two applied input current IB minus plus IB plus by 2, right? Yes or no? Guys, somebody please answer.
Yes, ma'am.
Input bias current.
Just now I entered.
Okay, those who entered at least they should reply no. Yeah. To whom do I ask? IB minus plus IB plus by 2. Correct or not? Those who have written at least they should reply no.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, correct. Okay, fine. So input offset current. The definition of input offset current is the algebraic difference between the currents into the negative input and at the positive input, which can be referred as the input offset current. So algebraic difference means we know that the current available at the negative input terminal or the inverting input terminal is IB minus. Similarly, at the non-inverting input terminal, the current is referred as IB plus. So difference in between that and input offset current is represented as IOS, and it is represented as IB plus minus IB minus. So it is 200 nanoampere for the BJT type of op-amp. Okay, and it is 10 picoamps for FET type of op-amp. What is BJT and FET means? Which configuration the IC is following. Okay, whether it is made by bipolar junction transistor or field effect transistor. As per that, this IOS is varying. Okay, so we have to take the absolute value only. So actually, even with the previous one, we studied that bias compensating method. No, the offset current will produce the output voltage when the input voltage is 0. Okay. So from the previous figure, as I shown, previous figure means here. In the previous figure, we may analyze the input offset current. Okay, how much effect it can produce even if the input voltage is 0. So by referring to this figure, we can also solve the concept for this input offset current. You have to analyze how much input offset current will be taken into the output voltage without any input, and what will be the output voltage at that time. So that we have to analyze it here. So from the previous figure, as I shown you, if you write V1, it can be written as IB plus into R comp. Guys, if you have drawn your figure, please refer that. It is not so far, it is the just previous figure only. So here we had the V1 and this is RCOM, and I'm just representing IB plus at this node. Similarly, in the previous equation, we have seen that I1 equal to V1 by R1, right? In the previous figure, I1 equal to V1 by R1. Okay. So these are the things we are going to see at here, and we have to apply KCL at this node A, this node A. Let's see what can be rewritten at here. So what can be the IB plus from the previous equation? V1 by R comp, right? And I1 is V1 by R1. So apply KCL at node A, which will gives I2. I2 will be IB minus I1. So just remember the term of IB minus. Okay. And I1 just now we got that this one V1 by R1. We will apply all this value at here. So here we may rewrite the term IB minus I1 is V1 by R1. If I will rewrite the equation, what can be the value? V1 already we got that IB plus into R comp. Somebody please mute your microphone, to whom I talk recently. So IB plus into R comp whole divided by R1. Okay, so the same equation can be written as IB minus IB plus into R comp whole divided by R1. Right? And again, we know that V0 can be written as I2 RF minus V1, because V1 is equal to V2. From that perspective, we have written that. Then this can be also written as I2 RF minus IB plus into R comp. So substituting the value of R comp, and after some algebraic manipulation, we will get we may get V0 equal to RF IB minus IB plus. This is similar, no? IB plus minus IB minus, both are same because we have to take the absolute value, right? So the whole equation can be written as V0 equal to RF into IOS. So now at this final equation of V0, we can see that if the IOS is 200 milliamp by default and RF is 1 mega ohm, what should be the value of V0? Yeah, what should be the value of V0? Hmm. Yeah, guys. 200 milliamp, no.
0.2 mega ohm.
0.2
Megavolt.
or 200 millivolt.
Kilovolt, ma'am.
Kilo. No, no, guys. Let's check the value whether it is milli or nano. 1 minute. Which value I wrote at the beginning? It is not milli, I think. It is nano, I think. Nano amp. Milli means somewhat it will be high only. So you just make the correction. It is nano amp. Now it will be 200 milli, right? You recalculate it. Okay. So now, sorry, millivolt it will be.
Yeah, yeah. 2 millivolt it will be.
1 mega ohm into 200, you just check.
200.
200 millivolt only, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm telling no.
Yeah, right now it's 200 millivolt.
Huh. Earlier I wrote 2, no, that is not 2. 200 nanoamp. Okay. So now you just see, guys, without any input, again 200 millivolt of voltage is appearing at the output voltage. So how do we overcome this? So how do we overcome this means how do we minimize the effect of this by offset current effect by proposing or imposing T or pi network. Okay, at feedback path. Okay, so to minimize the low RF can be uh, proposed, but it is impossible. So a T or pi network can be implemented to make R1 and RF to compensate the IOS effect. Proper value. The input side resistance should be very low as compared to the feedback resistance. That ratio we have to maintain. Because the feedback resistance we need, it must be always high. Okay. Okay, guys. The next characteristic or next parameters in the DC characteristic is input offset voltage. Okay. So what is input offset voltage then? So it is a type of offset voltage which must be applied in between the two input terminal of op-amp to nullify the output. What should be our target? Our V0 should be 0. Okay. So this is the voltage. Okay. Input offset voltage. So this voltage may be positive or may be negative. So we have to consider the absolute value for this. So what is the datasheet value for this input offset voltage? It is 6 millivolt for IC 741. So VIOS. Now, how do we observe this, guys? We have the normal differential amplifier. without any feedback. This is the V0 side, and here it is grounded, but suppose the VIOS is existing at this non-inverting input terminal. So this is the figure which shows offset voltage. So the same can be done for the inverting and non-inverting configuration. This is for which configuration, guys? Guys, watch the figure and tell me.
Non-inverting.
Non-inverting.
Yeah. And this one?
Inverted.
Non-inverting, and this is inverting representation of VIOS. Now we will analyze the effect of VIOS on the output of this both non-inverting and inverting op-amp. So let's consider any one type. Suppose we may consider the non-inverting type. Okay. So let's analyze the circuit once again. So here Vi is 0, which is your VIOS. So what is the V0, guys? Normally, if I will write down, if VIOS is the input at here, this belongs to non-inverting configuration. So this can be written as 1 plus RF by R1 into Vin, but this Vin is VIOS. Okay. So here, suppose this is V2 terminal. This voltage at this junction is V2. So let's apply the voltage divider rule to find out the V2. This side. What should be the V2, guys? Equation for V2 is guys, look at the figure and tell the value of V2. V0 is here, RF and R1 is here. It is like this. You forgot this concept. V0, and here we need the V2, and this is RF and this is R1. So what should be the equation for V2?
Then R1 into
Very
V0.
R1 by R1 plus RF into V0.
Yes, very good. Into V0, right? Yeah. So just solve this out for the V2 and V0. If I will take V0 to this side, what should be the equation? Tell me, then only I will write, because you all are sleeping. Tell me.
R1 plus RF by R1 into V2.
Yes, R1 plus RF whole divided by R1. This will be interchange, right? This will be multiplied with V2. So this whole into V2. Yeah. If I will rewrite this, 1 plus RF by R1 into V2. This can be written or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, as per the definition, VIOS is nothing but VI minus of V2. The difference in between the two applied voltage, right? So here VI is 0. So what should be the VIOS value?
V2.
Input. Yeah, input offset voltage is nothing but V2 voltage. So VIOS is equal to V2. In the previous equation, what we got? V not equal to, what can be rewritten for this? 1 plus RF by R1 into which value?
VIOS.
Yeah, in this way only I wrote that previous equation. The first equation at the output side I wrote with this equation. Yeah. So here also, if any value of RF and R1 is given to you without any input, the output will pursue some value. Okay guys, so this is also one parameter of your DC characteristic. Then the next one, total output offset voltage. It can be represented as VOT. Total output offset voltage means whatever the voltage we got with respect to the bias current and the input offset voltage, we have to take the sum of that. That is called as total output offset voltage. So that's why in equation form it can be represented as 1 plus RF by R1 whole into VIOS plus IB into RF. Already we got this value, right? Previously. So with RComp, if I want to represent the value, so total output voltage, offset voltage, I have to show that figure. Guys, this is only IB. This can be represented with IOS, no? The same equation if I will write down for VOT, what I said, the total output offset voltage is the combination of the voltage developed due to input offset voltage and bias current. Bias current or this IOS represents input offset current, right? So the same equation, if I will represent, okay. So how this value can be compensated, guys? So as per the theoretical description about this offset voltage, the offset voltage, this value, actually this may be either less or more than the offset voltage produced at the output due to the bias current, the input offset voltage, or this input offset current. Okay, these are the parameters responsible for generating the total output offset voltage. So this may be positive or negative with respect to ground. How do we compensate that, guys? Total output offset voltage. Already the bias compensation technique by using RComp we learned, but still some values of the output voltage is existing without the presence with the presence of zero input voltage. Okay. So what are the other methods can be applicable to compensate this offset voltage effect? For that, guys, do you remember what are the pins we are using for that offset null pin in the pin diagram of IC 741? Can anybody say?
1 and 5.
Yes, very good. 1 and 5. So we may utilize those two pins. How do we utilize that? Wait, I'll tell you. Let me to finish the figure. And here, compensating resistor we have to insert. Then 2, 3, 6, and here it is 7, and it is 4. Remaining two pins are 1 and 5, right? Suppose this is 1 and this is 5. So what we will do, guys, here we have to use a potentiometer across this. To balance the effect of this total output offset voltage effect. Offset null pin configuration. This is called a okay. And one more technique is balancing the circuit. Balancing the circuit by introducing some, as I said, T and pi type of network. No, that type of thing can be done for the inverting input op amp. So that circuit will be like this. As per your requirement, you just use the value of the resistances. Guys, these are the circuitry I'm showing you to compensate your total output offset voltage or to reduce that voltage. Suppose V in we are applying at the inverting input terminal. Then how do we balance this means? You have to make such arrangement. RF. Suppose okay, plus V minus V, and here we may use the potentiometer. Okay, suppose this is R4, this is R3. Okay guys, then the last parameter for the DC characteristic is thermal drift. Guys, you have worked with the hardware laboratory, right? You have dealt with your ICs and register, capacitor, many things on the breadboard. You have given the power supply. So if you keep it on for a long period of time, what you have feel for the components you have used in the breadboard, what kind of effect you have seen? If you keep it on for a long period of time, are you able to touch your IC or any of the component? Heat will be generated, right? So this mismatch in the temperature, okay, or I can say the bias current, offset current and the offset voltage, they are varying with the temperature. So to nullify that, because we know that no, these currents are producing the output voltage, or these parameters are producing the output voltage without the presence of the input voltage. Okay, so that's why automatically what will happen, if you turn on the IC with the power supply only, they will produce the output voltage. But if you keep on turn on your switch or power supply, they may produce the heat. So that is called as thermal drifting. Okay, or the definition of thermal drift, change of the temperature. Okay, then what are the methods we have to use to compensate this thermal drift effect? So some point you just remember, a circuit which can be null at 25 degrees centigrade. Okay, magnitude will be remain, but when it will rises to different temperature level like 30 degree, 40, 45 degree, what will happen? What are the parameters shown by the device at 25 degrees centigrade? Will it be remain at that temperature when the temperature changes are happening to the circuit? Will it be same? No. Okay, that is also another perspective of your thermal drifting. So just write down, offset current drift is represented in nanoampere per degree centigrade. Similarly, offset voltage drifting can be represented as millivolt per degree centigrade. Okay, so how do we compensate this effect? Actually, by making some arrangement in the PCB layout, which will keep your device away from the source heating component. And you may use one cooling device which can be easily dissipate that heat and make your circuit to be protected from the change in temperature or overheating, or to stabilize the ambient temperature. So these are the things can be opted for the compensating method for the thermal drifting. Okay, then the proper definition, if I will represent for the thermal drifting, is the average rate of change of input offset voltage per unit change in temperature is called as thermal voltage drift. Okay, and we have to denote this as del of VIOS whole divided by change in temperature. Okay, so in microvolt per degree centigrade, the same concept will be applicable for the input offset current, right? So this will become del of IIO whole divided by del T in picoamp per degree centigrade. Similarly, the same concept is applicable for the bias current, del T, change in temperature. Okay, and this value is again picoamp per degree centigrade. Practically, actually, LM101, this is one more IC. For this, the input offset voltage, it may change mostly at plus minus 15 microvolt per degree centigrade. Okay. for about your 25 degree centigrade change in temperature. Then error voltage, the last parameters guide. Suppose the total output offset voltage, to represent this, suppose the VOOT is 0 volt at 25 degree centigrade. And here we are representing this VOOT now as the error voltage. How it can be represented elaborately means maximum, it is the maximum possible change in the total output offset voltage. Okay, the maximum change in the total output offset voltage. So some of the book they have represented this as EV error voltage or del of VOOT, and this can be represented as maximum change, so we have to write 1 plus RF by R1. Wait guys, I'll write in a single line. One plus RF by R1 into del VIO by del T whole into del T plus RF whole into del of IIO by del T into del T. So this EB error voltage could be positive or negative. Now guys, you tell me what is this whole term. Already I have shown you this part. What is this part and what is this part? Yeah, what is this? Del del IIO by del T, or 1 plus RF by R1 into del IO by del T. What are these terms? Just now I told you, no? Thermal drifting voltage. In terms of what? Input offset current, right? Yeah. So that's all for your DC characteristic. Do you have any doubt? Means tell me. Otherwise, I will move towards solving one problem. Suppose by using this recent data, we may solve one example now. Guys, those who are present for this class, you type yes in the chat box for the attendance. And here VOOT is nullified at 0 volt. One temperature has given 25 degrees centigrade. So this figure is for the compensated inverting amplifier. Okay. Guys, I wrote that del T. What is the del T? Capital del T. Capital T represents the change in temperature. Suppose if I will write it for small t, it may represent your time. Okay. So I'm just reading the question for you guys. The given circuit is initially nulled. Okay. Assume also that room temperature and the voltage across the terminal plus VCC and minus B remain constant. Determine the maximum possible change in the output offset voltage after 1 month if the op-amp is LH0041C. So some data are given. Assume that R1 is 1 kilo ohm, RF is 100 kilo ohm and RL is 10 kilo ohm. This is RL. So here in this question it has been asked. Determine the maximum possible change in the output offset voltage. It means it has been asked the error voltage only, del VOOT. So what are the data given for this question, guys? Given parameters are R1 equal to 1 kilo ohm, RF equal to 100 kilo ohm, RL equal to 10 kilo ohm, and for LH0041C, this type of op-amp, no? So for this, some data will be provided to you. For LH0041C, del VIO by del T value. Small t I am writing is 5 microvolt per week. Guys, here it has given in terms of month, change in month. Okay. So determine the maximum possible change in the output offset voltage after 1 month if the op-amp is LH0041C. Okay. So here some data are given. Del VIO by del T is 5 microvolt per week. Some other data are also provided. Del IIO by del T is 2 nanoamp per week. Due to the time drifting, 1 month data has given, guys. So how much you have to take? In a month, how many weeks are coming? Because these parameters are in week only. So how many week you have to consider? 4 week, right? So let's take this del T equal to 4 week. So what is the definition of this del VOOT? Just apply those value and calculate the answer. I am waiting for the response. All the data you got in the previous equation here. 1 plus RF by R1 into del VIO by capital del T was there, but now small del T is there. Del VIO by small del T value is provided. Small del T also provided. You just use this formula and calculate the answer. Guys, this is the main formula to calculate the error voltage. You use it here and write the answer. You tell me the answer. I'm waiting for the response. The answer will come in millivolt. Solve it and tell me. Guys, are you solving? Simple formula, no? All the data are provided. Del VIO by del T 5 microvolt per week, and this is 2 nanoamp per week. So here itself I will use this, guys, because my page it got stuck. So now in this formula, if I will use this, all the data del VOOT can be written as 1 plus 100 kilo ohm whole divided by 1 kilo ohm whole into 5 microvolt it was given, right? 5 into 10 to the minus 6 whole into 4 week. Okay. So 4 plus again 100 kilo ohm, because this is RF. Then del IO by del T, that value is 2 nano ampere per week. 2 into 10 to the minus 9 into again 4. Solve it and tell me at least. Okay,
2.82 millivolt.
Yes, very good. 2.82 millivolt. This is the answer. In this way you have to solve, guys. If other questions are given to find out the error voltage with respect to time or temperature, whichever the data it has given, you have to proceed as per that. Okay. That's all for today's class. If you have any doubt, means ask me. Otherwise, I'll end the session at here. In next class, we will solve some more problem, guys, with respect to CMRR.